Malena, and I always say I graduated from the University of Life. This lesson is one where I said living with faith. The minute we all hear the word faith, we are thinking that it has to do with our religious faith, with our spiritual faith. The truth is that a lot of us live in fear that nothing will be resolved, fear of when our kids go out of the house, fear at work, fear, and that fear is literally a stone that stays in our shoe and makes you not take chances in your life, makes you not move forward because you're afraid. Any athlete that is playing in a game and is the best player, the minute this fear of facing their opponent can also jeopardize their performance. They can perform 100% with the faith that they're going to do good, with the faith that they're well fed, that they're well trained, that they're well educated, that they know all the moves, and that they're going to make it, right? They have this confidence. But it has nothing to do with the confidence. More than anything that I want you to know is let fear live your life, live your heart, go as far as it can possibly go from your existence. I'll tell you why. Because living with the faith, what is the faith? The faith is every day we are able to breathe, we're able to walk, we're able to talk, right? And we just take it for granted, but it is the faith that is happening, right? In life, there's so many things that happen to us that we start losing faith. Let's see, you already dated different people, and at the beginning it was wonderful, everything was working out, and then you found out, wait a minute, they're a little bit toxic, or they have a bad temper, or they don't have money and you have to put all the money yourself. You little by little start knowing that person and getting what? You start getting disappointed. So you start getting what? Losing faith that there is true love. I always tell my friends, and I tell people, and I'm going to tell you, that there is someone created for you. By divine right, there is someone for you. Don't be afraid to leave anybody that makes your heart shrink. Your hearts have to be joyful and peaceful. Home, like I said on the other video, is your sanctuary. It's the place where you feel at peace, where you watch TV, where you make dinners, where you build memories, when you cut the grass, clean the house with that person that is your companion, right? So all of us, the entire humanity has their other half, right? And what we want to do in here is we want to make sure that you truly believe that you have your other half. Why you have to have that faith? Not because, oh, I just have the faith. No. That's why the meditations, that's why I suggested Mind Valley. They have a lot of ideas and ways to talk to your mind and to understand that your thoughts and your words is what comes into your reality, right? Don't lose the faith in finding love. Don't lose the faith that it's, if at home things are not good, that you cannot change that. A lot of times when we literally make a positive change in ourselves, our physical health and everything starts to change in our own house. If we keep it clean, if we become organized, if we keep our car clean and organized, you start seeing changes, not only on the way people look at you, but also on the way you feel and walk, and everything is like a space, you know. Don't accumulate things that you don't use. Have the faith, right? Let the flow of life continue. The lens of optimism goes out of the window when the bills come home, when the bank account is overdrawn, when our health of the loved ones is deteriorating or our own health is not good. When we see all the doors in front of us closing, right? When you start seeing things in front of your face close. When I say I graduated from the University of Life, I have situations that came into my existence with strong defeating purposes. Like I thought, I'm not gonna make it, I can't do this, I won't. But then I follow my advice on the previous videos that says holding you cry is not an option. So I literally started like just crying and looking for an answer. An answer from what? From the divine, from your prayers, from your meditations, from your inner self. The soul that we have here, that feeling that when your heart hurts or when your heart is joyful, looking for that wisdom when I'm in the lowest part of my life, looking for gratitude when I'm in the lowest part of my life, when all the doors are closing. You know, a lot of people that commit suicide, they see no single door open. Every door they turn is closed, and another one and another one. But let me tell you one thing that you learn through the difficult times is that your friends that love you will be there with you through it all. Your family members, your co-workers. And during the difficult times, the fun part is you see with your own eyes your true enemies, the true colors of everybody. It's like something comes out of your eyes and you say, oh my goodness, I can't believe. When you're in your lowest point, unfortunately, a lot of us get abandoned, have no friends. I had a friend who told me he was making really good money, so he'll invite all his friends to the bar, to the clubs, to eat. And when he lost his job and his health due to dialysis, he had nobody. Nobody would visit him. I was at the hospital with him and nobody was there. I was shocked when in the past he had crowds of friends being around him. You know what he lost? He lost all his faith. He lost all the faith, and he continually lived in fear and secluded himself completely. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So when you're faced with that difficult downside in your life, let's see, no money, no help, everything, that is the moment when you look up. My favorite phrase, you look up and wait, because God will never let you down. Never, ever. I learned a lesson that we took water to the mountain because we thought it's a drought and the animals are not going to eat in the forest. And after we walk with all these gallons, what do we see? A river. A big lesson, right? Everything has a beautiful balance. You will always be taken care of. You will always have the abundance. You will always have the wisdom to know what to do next. What is very important, that you always know in every adversity, what is my best option? What is the best thing to do next? What am I supposed to do next? What am I supposed to do next? Look at what are your options. Start looking for your options. What is my options? What can I do now that I'm at this moment in time, right? All the doors closed. What can I do next? Am I gonna sit there and cry? Yeah, cry. But you get up, you meditate, and find silence in your mind. I said Eckhart Tolle is really good at teaching you that. You silence that mind that tells you you won't do it, you can't do it, blah, blah, blah. You're broke, you're fat, he's leaving you, he doesn't love you. All that stuff that's you're poor, you have no money in the bank, all that's going to be quiet, complete quiet. So go to his in YouTube, look for Eckhart Tolle, and silence your mind and find the next best thing to do. What is the best thing to do next? What are your options? Who you can call, who you can count with, who can solve your problem, even maybe completely solve it, right? Or who can you partner with to help you, right? They always say the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Why? Because you tell many people this happening, and you find resources. Don't be afraid. My mom always says something that I like. She says, oh, just go and ask. My grandma also used to say that. Just go and ask. The worst thing that can happen is they're going to say no. They're not going to come and beat you up and say, no, I'm not going to give it to you. No, they're just going to say no. So the best thing to do is just ask. Ask, what is your next move? Move with confidence and faith, right? Homework, you're going to write all the possible solutions in the paper. Why are you going to write it? You're going to write, I'm going to make phone calls. I'm going to go to this place to make an application. I'm going to call so-and-so. I'm going to go to networking meetings. I'm going to go to meetups to know some people. Maybe I can go to church. Maybe I can network there. You start finding solutions, your homework, to read and to write what to do, right? Then you can literally go to the library, go to AI or the internet or whatever you want to go, by research the best possible solutions. What would anybody do if they were in your shoes, right? But one of the most important things you need to know, and you really need to know, is that you do not abandon yourself. You do not sit there with fear. Fear, if anything you learn in my classes, in my talks, stop being afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid because you're being supported. Even if you look around in your room or in your apartment or in your house, whatever you are, that lonely feeling, you are not alone. There's so many good people out there that will hear you out, and they will advocate for you. As much as you advocate for you, you speak what you need, and believe it or not, people will help. There's lots of good people out there, a lot of good people, and that's one thing I want you to trust. Life is delicious, and yes, sometimes in the delicious life, something sour comes into our mouth, something sour that just breaks you apart, right? But through it all, you having the faith that this will pass, and this will pass, and I will not stay here. I will not stay homeless. I will not stay hungry. I'm not going to stay heartbroken. Everything will pass. Everything will come to pass. How? During those tornadoes, how do you live with faith? You simply and mainly silence that mind. Allow your spirit to feed you divine intelligence, divine knowledge of what to do next. That's what faith is so beautiful, because you always look up and wait, and the answer will come. Who to call, where to go, what is your next best move, right? There's always an exit. Even if we don't see it, there's always one. And the best part of the whole thing is when you're on the other side. You said, oh my gosh, I can't believe. Why do you think so many people hate their exes? Oh, my ex-husband, my ex-girlfriend, my ex-toxic. Why? Because they're in that tornado of relationship, right? You didn't notice that this was not the best person for you. And after you leave it on the other side, you're no longer with them, with the people, the person you love, the person you were chasing, the person you were waiting for their call, the person you were waiting for their gifts and their dinners and the time you spent together. You're now like, can't be with this person. Why? Because it's always the light outside. It's always that better moments. It's always the best experiences. And how do we do that? How do we get there? We believe it or not, through faith. Faith, knowing you are being protected. But homework in the comments, who is the president who said, fear nothing but fear itself. Fear nothing but fear itself. That is it. Fear nothing but fear itself, because fear paralyzes you and you don't want to do that. It tampers with your decisions. It allows time to pass by. It allows the years to take over. And then suddenly you're 30 and you didn't build the fortune you wanted so much because fear, anxiety took over your life. When in reality, you should have the faith, to have that leap of faith to do your business, the leap of faith to do that investment, the leap of faith to talk to that girl, that guy, the leap of faith to make friends with that person, or go to that dinner, or go to that trip. I leave you with the homework that I want you to write. Your best possible solutions and steps you want to take for you to come out or whatever comes your way, right? And I leave you this with a lot of care. And thank you, and I see you next time.